What's up, everybody? It's the RCLman here. Welcome to another episode of the RCL Podcast, a weekly podcast where I answer your comments, tell you how the channel did this past week, and this week we're going to talk about some video game news and a little bit about the new update that came with Rec Room this week, or last week, whenever week it was. But first, before we start any of that, I want to talk about last week, what happened last week. I mean, there's no real... whatever. I hurt my foot, you know what I mean? I talked about it, I think, last week, or the week before that, rather. And so, I mean, I went to the doctor. They told me that, really, they just said I sprained it, or that I went there, I waited. They just said I sprained it. Like, they didn't even really give me, anything. They went and took x-rays because I thought it was broken or fractured or something like that. But no, nothing too bad, but they just said stay off of it for 2 days. And so that's what I did. And, I could have honestly recorded the podcast during those 2 days. But, I just decided, hey, I'm going to stay off of it. If I'm honest, when we get to the channel review part, it doesn't seem like it affected much. Or it did affect things in a positive way. I don't know. But yeah, I was out last week. Honestly, my foot, it still hurts just a little bit, but it's like nothing. Like, I can walk around a whole lot better than I could last week. Let's get to the first comment here, shall we? Alright, first comment is from VR QuestCast, and it's on the new Spawner and AI tutorial video I put out, I think, yesterday? When I put that on? He says, thanks, I didn't know how to use it on my Index and Quest. Man, so yeah, all of the new stuff that they added for the new update with the AI and the enemies and stuff like that, that stuff's really cool. It's gonna make Quest so much different. It's gonna make the rooms that people make so much better, in my opinion. One of the things I really love when it comes to the quests that are made on Rec Room are Jumbotron. Jumbotron is my favorite one. I guess it's because there's no arrows, there's no swords, it's just pistols and I don't know, kind of futuristic and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to really see what people do. And they've already done some really good things with it. But the quest would be really cool. And then I read the developer blog post thing, and they're going to be adding more and more. So this is just the first step of the new AI stuff. They're gonna make it to where you can customize the actual enemies, and that's really cool. And I'm not sure, I think there was something on there about customizing their path, where they go. I'm not 100% on that. It's been a week since I read it, but I know they have plans to make it to where you can customize them. That's really cool. That'll make things so much different. I feel like that's not the right sequence of words there, but whatever. So it's really cool to see that update, see what it's already done. I really wanted to see if we could get some enemies in here while I'm doing the podcast. Let me try that just real quick. Okay, so it won't let you bake the nav mesh in here, so I don't know if what this is really gonna do.
Press the start button on the
yeah, so it brings an enemy out, but I guess he'll just chill there. Alright, let's see what happens with this, if I can have them just chilling here. They'll go away eventually, but... There we go. We have some enemies just chilling in the background. He looks real doofy right there. I guess I've never taken time to just look at him. Anyway, yeah, so Spawner Gadget and AI, really cool. I'm really curious to see what people do with all of that stuff. Alright, so the next comment here is from Graham Carabell, and it is on the Kids video. So if you remember that game, a weird game Kids from a year back, I finally got around to doing it, even though it took forever. He says, what do you do in this situation when your kids go down a black hole? Well, there's really nothing you can do. It's just endless and a void of blackness. No. Yeah, apparently you push them in the hole and then you catch them and then they drop down, or then they go into an intestine and then they come out. And then there's more of them, so more of them go in the black hole. That's what happened in the game anyway. That game made no sense whatsoever. It's a complete waste of time. But anyway. Next, so I wanted to get into some video game update stuff. Some news, if you will. I remember when I started this podcast a long time ago, it was all about the video game news. So, first off, Oculus Quest will be getting the hand tracking, and I know I've done a podcast about that before, but it was in beta. Now it's kind of out of beta and it's out for all the game developers to use. So there's I think there's like 3 or 4 games now on the Oculus Quest that just use hand tracking. You don't need controllers at all. All you have to do is put your hands up and do stuff, and that's really, really cool. I'll talk about my Quest. I'll talk about that a little later. Okay, but anyway, so that comes out on May 28th, I believe. Let me make sure I got the date right on that. Yeah, May 28th. So a couple games will get that, and that'll be out available for developers to use in their games, which would be really cool. Just not to have any control. That add another layer of like immersion within it. You know what I mean? To not have controllers, because the Quest already you're just not hooked up to anything. There's no wires, so that makes it one step of immersion, and then using only your hands, double step of immersion, and then if you put your headphones in, that's like 3 steps. You're getting so close to Ready Player One, man. We're gonna get there one day. Ready Player One. All right, next thing here, Fallout 4. Now, I know you haven't heard that name in a good while, but somebody is remaking New Vegas, which I know I've talked about this before on the podcast, a long time ago. Somebody is remaking New Vegas in Fallout 4, or with the Fallout 4 engine, and I cannot wait for that to happen, because New Vegas was awesome, Fallout 3 was awesome, Fallout 4 was awesome, and if you could remake Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas within the Fallout 4, like, graphics and like capabilities and the way it is, like that would be, I would go back and play that game 100%. Not to 100%, but just I would definitely buy it and play it again. I know a while back there were some legal troubles where like Bethesda wasn't letting them use the original audio files, you know, for the characters and for the NPCs, so they had to re-record all of them. I don't know if this was this one or if it was the remake of the Fallout 3. But anyway, there was like this whole legal thing going on with it. It was kind of ridiculous, but now they're back at it, and I don't know when or how, because it's a mod. It's not like an official Bethesda thing. When that thing comes out, where do I get it? How can I play that? Like, that's something I definitely want to play. A Fallout New Vegas remake, awesome. Last thing here is, so with all the COVID stuff going on, right? E3's been canceled. Now, most people are aware of what E3 is, just in case you're not. E3 is like a yearly, like, big convention that would happen, and they would announce a whole bunch of new stuff, and Microsoft and Sony and Bethesda and EA, they'd all have like a conference or some sort of event to like announce stuff and to show new stuff and all that. So it's been canceled this year because of COVID, just like everything has been canceled because of COVID. But Sony has said that on June 4th, they will be releasing details about the PS5. It'll be the thing I read said slate of play or slate of Sony or something like that. Slate of, and I thought it was state of play, but I think state of play is state of play? State of play is PlayStation, so then slate of play, I don't know. Anyway, there'll be some kind of an event, probably a stream or something, on June 4th that'll tell you, you know, like what you're looking at. It'll show you what the games are that are coming up for, you know, PS5 whenever it comes out, because it should be coming out toward the end of this year, probably around the holidays. If not, I mean, they gotta push it to like May of next year or something. I don't know. We need the new systems. I mean, we don't need them. I'm actually perfectly fine with what I have, but they'll be coming out soon with the new systems and the information and everything like that. There's some new games that will probably be announced or shown. They'll probably show something about Cyberpunk because, you know, everybody kind of is waiting. I don't know if everybody. I'm waiting for that. A lot of people I know are waiting for that game. It'd be a long shot, but like God of War 2, the new God of War, you know, like maybe there'll be a preview for that. Let's see. And then what was Horizon Zero Dawn 2, whatever that is, you know what I mean? They'll probably show something from that. I don't know. So it'll be really interesting to see what comes up there. But June 4th is whenever that's going to happen. Who knows? You know, who knows? We're in that gray zone, that no man's land, where you have no idea what's coming out. All right, let's go to the next comment here. This is from Ty That Guy. He's my mod. He's a good mod. And it is from the Iron Giant conquering Iron Giant video thing. And he says, that noise that plays when a cuss word is said, though. Also, Nightmare Conquered. That was the last thing that he said there. Yeah. So yeah, when I was really young, I was scared of the Iron Giant. Not necessarily the Iron Giant itself, but the nuclear bomb at the end of the thing. It's all there in the video. So yes, Fear Conquered, and yeah, I use a dog squeak toy. You know what I mean, to cover up my cuss words, because it's better than a beep. But also, like, YouTube doesn't like videos that cuss really, really early in the video. So if that's going to happen, I try to censor it a little bit. So you might hear censoring at the beginning, but then at the end, I'll probably just let loose. You know what I mean? We'll just, you'll see if you ever watch some of the content. Let's see. Oh, so now we get to go to how the channel did this past week and or this past 2 weeks. So I'm blown away. Let me tell you something. I did the math, right? So it's been 2 weeks, right? I skipped podcast last week. I think the average was like 36, something like that. We're up to 972 as of recording this podcast. In the last episode, it was 881 2 weeks ago. That means 91 new subscribers in 2 weeks. That is fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's awesome, but it's ridiculous, dude. And then, so I averaging that. That's 45 per week. That's better than any of the other ones. And last week I didn't even do the like, it's kind of this is a weird thing that happens whenever I go on like a vacation for a week, because I'll usually go on vacation for my birthday and for Christmas. I usually take a week off. Whenever I do that, that week that I'm inactive seems to just like do other things. Like something else happens that like boost me up. I don't know. That's really awesome. Thank you everybody for subscribing. I'm right there at 1,000. And then I've been watching the watch time, because the watch time has to be a certain number as well. It's right there too. It's so close. So, oh man, I assume before my birthday I'll get it. But you never know. Some BS could happen. The freaking algorithm could turn on me and just decimate my soul. So we'll see what happens. But thank you everyone again for subscribing. It's been a really crazy journey to go through everything all the way up to, you know, where I am now. Like, it's just been crazy. But again, thank you guys. As far as the grade, I mean, it's weird because the subscriber number was great, but I have to dock myself on the grade because, you know, I just didn't do anything last week. You know what I mean? So I have to, like, you know, dock it. I'm going to go, just because the ones that did this week didn't do super well, but they did good enough, granted. The streams did really well, which is very surprising. Like, I asked you guys if you liked the streams or the videos better. You said the streams, which, anyway. Let's go with a B plus, and the only reason I would say like A or S, but because I, you know, took that time off, even though it wasn't necessary. I mean, my foot, you know, is necessary, even though it's not visible here in the VR universe. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it wasn't. I could have definitely worked on a computer while my foot hurt. You know what I mean? But anyway, B plus. I think that's a good grade. Nothing on anybody else other than me. I'm the problem here. Let's go to the last comment here. I'm sorry, not the last comment. Let's see. Next comment is from Bosky78, and it is on the Uno video from a couple weeks ago. He says, "So was this like a custom thing, or is it actually on there? I've never seen it before." So that room is actually called like Rec Room Uno or something like that. Like, it's actually on there. If you search Uno in the search bar on Rec Room, you'll find it. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's a real room in there.
Press the start button.
Let's see. And then last thing we'll talk about tonight, upcoming stuff. Man, I don't really have any clue what's upcoming. You know what I mean? I know I've got another tutorial in YouTube. I mean, in Rec Room I want to do. I've got, I ordered my Oculus Quest. I ordered the Oculus Quest. So, it says it'll be here June 8th. You know what I mean? Hopefully after that, then we can change some things. We can move this from beyond the confines of this tiny room. And then we'll move from there. That's about, I mean, I don't really have anything else upcoming. I've played Apex Legends, you know, consistently since the new season came out, so maybe I could do a video in Apex Legends, you know what I mean, just because I enjoy that game. And then I completed Journey, Journey was free on PS4 for a little while, so I completed that the other day. That's like 2 hours. It's a really fun game. Really interesting the way you
press the stop
you
button.
run in. You're playing online with people, but you cannot communicate other than through like a little button, and that's it. Just a little like that's it. It's the only way you can communicate, and you still get through it. It's interesting. Anyway, last comment here. This is a rambling podcast. Let me tell you, I feel like I was not prepared this week. Last comment here is from Herlo, I think that's how you say it, and it's on the Hectic Highways thing. By the way, that Hectic Highways, that was recorded a year ago. That was ridiculous. I just decided to put it out now to see what you guys thought of it. And he says, when I first clicked, I thought it was mobile. I could see it being like a mobile, like a Subway Surfer, like mobile type game. I could see that. Yeah, that's it for the podcast, you guys. If you did like it, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you next week. Have a good day, everybody. RCLman out.